All right, so today I wanted to talk about a funny meme that I seen from Hannah Cox here, and it's a capitalism socialism comparison, so it'll be good. Anyway, it's of the the buttons of people the socialists not being able to decide which one to pick, and one of them says capitalism does not work because people are selfish, but the other one says people will work for the common good in a socialist society. Now, this is one of the many contradictions of number one, democracy, number two, obviously socialism. That again, like if capitalism is so exploitive but but it's not necessarily capitalism because people need to run the system. So by saying capitalism is exploitive, um, what you're saying is that people are exploited because again someone needs to run the system and groups of people need to run the system. So again, if that's the case, then how can you possibly argue for socialism, right? Because again, if people are willing to work for the common good, then you shouldn't have to shove it down their throat. I mean, that's the other one of the other glaring contradictions of socialism is that if it's such a great system, then you shouldn't have to force people to do it at the point of a gun. This is why um, the way we do a lot of things is completely wrong and immoral, right? Because if it's so good, you shouldn't have to force people to do it. And this is the other thing that I always bring up too. Another one of the many reasons why the socialists are insane is that if they really, or sorry, if they were motivated based off the ideas they tell you, or why they tell you they're motivated, and that the socialists like to tell you, oh, we care so much about the poor, oh, it's about the poor, we care so much about the poor. Okay, well, if that was the case, the socialists would simply get together, sign contracts, and collectively pay for things, right? Because under a capitalist system, there would be nothing stopping them from pooling their income and paying for whatever they want. There's nothing stopping them. So the reality behind the socialist mindset is that they're more motivated by wanting to take from other people than they are from wanting to help other people. And that is the fundamental reason why I don't think it ever works. Is that because their motivations are completely backwards and that their motivations are how can we take from other people that have more than us and take it for ourselves, and eventually you run out of things to take and the entire system collapses. Um, that is the fundamental problem with socialism. Because again, if they were actually motivated by wanting to help the poor and the downtrodden, they wouldn't care how capitalistic the society was because they would simply get together, like I said, sign contracts saying, hey, we're going to collectively pool a certain percentage of our income and the richer people can pool more and we're going to pay for healthcare and welfare and all whatever other crap we want to pay for. Right? If they actually were confident in socialism, that's what they would do. The fact that they don't do that shows that they are admitting by default that they don't even believe what they believe, right? They don't even believe what they believe. So, like I said, that is the fundamental problem with socialism. I mean, there's many other things too, and that here's the other big problem too that they bring up here is that capitalism and the capitalism socialism argument it's kind of irrelevant when it comes to the whole selfish thing because again you're talking about humans, so it comes back to the whole, are humans naturally bad, naturally good, or are they swayed by incentive? The reality behind humans is that they're swayed by incentive, and that if you create enough of an incentive, most people can be swayed to do pretty much good or bad depending on the incentive. Now, again, I mean, let's go over all three examples. I mean, number one, if humans are naturally good, then you shouldn't have to force them at the point of a gun to pay massive amounts of taxes and to pay for free healthcare and massive welfare and all this garbage, right? So if people are naturally good, then you don't need socialism. If people are naturally bad, then you wouldn't want socialism because bad people will get in control of the government and exploit other people. If people are driven by incentive, then you shouldn't want socialism either, because then that creates every incentive in the world to not produce. This is one of the other fundamental problems with socialism and big government and these redistribution schemes is that they're all hunky dory. The problem being is that when you create a system to where people can get resources without having to produce anything, then that just creates more and more of an incentive for other people to not produce, but yet still to take out. And that becomes a very large problem because, again, someone's got to pay for these resources, right? Someone's got to pay for the resources. So the way I would say it is that no matter how you want to shake it out, there's no logical reason behind wanting socialism, at least if you ask me. So again, it is a very good meme because, again, either way, I think they're wrong. Like, either way, they're wrong. And this is the thing too, that this is the reason why the concept of having one big, one size fits all form of government makes no sense. This is something that I'm really still trying to get a good answer from anybody who disagrees. Like, why in the world should we not have separate countries or separate areas? Why should we force people who don't want to live under socialism to live under socialism, and people who don't want to live under capitalism to live under capitalism? Why not have one of each? Have a right wing area and a left wing area. The right wing area would come down to, the libertarians and the traditional conservatives. The left wing area would come down to the socialists and the traditional liberals. Like, I don't get why these one size fits all approaches make any sense to people. Now, I think the reality behind it is that most people they're just so used to things being the way they are that they don't ever want to change, right? And that, I've never really heard of a good argument behind that stuff too. And I mean, I have heard of a lot of arguments, but none of the arguments actually bear out. Like, none of the arguments actually bear out. um, so this is the other thing that really bothers me about society as a whole, is that most of these political strifes and these political disagreements could easily be solved by simply doing that. Now, why do most people not want to do it, even on both sides? Is that, well, number one, the left doesn't want to do it because the left wants to continue um, taking more out of the system than they put in, right? And keeping the idea of endless, money printing and the whole fiat currency system afloat. Because, again, if if the majority of right wing individuals left whatever area it is, well, then again, those are people that are overwhelmingly net, producers, that are people that are they're providing a lot more into the system than they're taking out. Again, it would just advance the system collapse that much faster, right? So I think that's one of the main reasons why the left doesn't want that. And as far as the right goes, I just think that the right doesn't have any balls, really. The right are they're boring, okay with losing, like, just boring, gutless people. I mean, for lack of a better word. Now, again, I'm talking about the average mainstream right winger, the 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 typical, Bush, supporter, the typical, Harper supporter, like those kind of people, like at least the average one, because there's a lot of people that voted for them that are probably good people. I understand that. But I mean the people they're the moderate conservatives, right? The Romney types, these kind of people that they're really conservative in name only, or Republican in name only, right? They're the faux opposition kind of people, and that's the stuff that really bothers me just as much as the liberals and the Democrats and all those people do too as well. So, like I say, the solution here is very simple. Like, the solution is very simple. We have separate areas. We have one area where people want less government, one area where people want more, and let the best man win. I don't get I don't get why people don't want that. Now, again, the reality is that there's the two sides, right? There's the two sides. Um, so again, long story short, I think this was a very good meme. It's funny, and it's funny because it's true. Like, it's funny because it's true, and then, again, that's why I wanted to talk about it. So anyway, if you liked the video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you check out those links below. Follow me on those other platforms if you haven't already. Um, if you want to donate, you can do that as well. Again, I appreciate whatever support I can get. But like I say, check out those links. Stay tuned for more, and have a good day.